Good morning to all our viewers. You're watching the morning news show on CNN News 18. I'm Sakshi Singh Litoria here to walk you through all the latest developments from across the globe. We are starting the bulletin right off with some good news for Indian football team. Now, Team India beat Kuwait in a tense penalty shootout to clinch a record 9th SAFF championship title in Bengaluru on Tuesday. India finished with a score line of 5-4 in the shootout after both sides were deadlocked in 1-1 in 120 minutes in the summit clash. After 5 rounds of penalty kicks, the score line remained 4-4 as sudden death came into play. Now, Mahesh Naorem scored for India in the sudden death, while India goalkeeper Gurpreet Singh Sandhu saved Khaled Haya's shot to help the team secure a thrilling win. This was the second time India won the penalty shootout. They made it to Tuesday's summit clash after beating Lebanon 4-2 in penalty shootout in the semi-final on July 1. So it's a very good news for football team, our Indian football team, as Team India beat Kuwait in a tense penalty shootout to clinch a record 9th SAFF championship title in Bengaluru on Tuesday. India finished with a scoreline of 5-4 in the shootout after both sides were deadlocked by 1-1 in 120 minutes in the summit clash. Now, after 5 rounds of penalty kicks, the scoreline remained 4-4 as sudden death came into play in this game. Now, Mahesh Naorem scored for India in the sudden death, while India goalkeeper Gurpreet Singh Sandhu saved Khaled Haya's shot to help the team secure a thrilling and thumping win. This was the final and the second time India won the penalty shootout. They made it to Tuesday's summit clash after beating Lebanon by 4-2 in penalty shootout in the semi-final on July 1. Shifting our focus to the state of Maharashtra, it's Pawar versus Pawar. It's the Pawar play we are talking about. The final verdict on who controls the NCP is likely to be known today. Now, massive show of strength has been organized by Ajit Pawar and Sharad Pawar in Mumbai today. Ajit Pawar group has called for a meeting at 11 a.m., whereas Jayant Patil has called a meeting at 3 p.m. today itself. Thousands of workers and many legislators are expected to attend the meetings today. Remember, both the meetings will be crucial as both the leaders have claimed majority of MLAs on their side. If at least 36 MLAs side with Sharad Pawar today, Ajit Pawar and other 8 MLAs on his side can be disqualified.
The first question that everyone has in mind is why and how?
Well, I think why and how. How you've seen.
We have just seen the tip of the iceberg, though.
No, how you've seen is in the sense that the decision has been taken and our party has joined the government here in Maharashtra. Now, why? Why is another issue which needs to be explained. See, in the NCP, especially amongst the elected legislators as well as the rank and file, there's been a conversation going on for quite some time. When the MBA government was about to collapse because Eknath Shinde had left for Guwahati, there was already a meeting of all our MLAs in Maharashtra, and everybody, without exception. 2022. Yes, 2022, without exception, everybody wanted we should be part of the government. Now, 2-3 things have to be looked at.
Without exception, are you saying all the 53 MLAs?
All the MLAs, without exception, wanted us to be part of the government. The second thing is, the MBA, when it was formed, it was a post-poll alliance. Now, it could have been a BJP alliance also, because the ideological barrier was broken the moment we tied up with the Shiv Sena. Radical, no issues. I mean, I'm not questioning them. I'm not, because that's their philosophy. The second thing is, we always fought against them. They were always far more vocal about our leadership than even the BJP.
But the BJP has been worse, sir.
No, I'm talking of the past, prior to 2019. And so it's okay if we can form a government with them. We don't have an ideological barrier then.
Despite all the tirade that the BJP had against you?
No, I'm talking of the Shiv Sena first. That the Shiv Sena, we broke that barrier. Now if that can be overcome, then the MLAs and everybody, you see, there are 2-3 aspects to this. MLAs have a responsibility to the constituencies. They feel that, being with a combination which is ruling helps their constituency. 2, in terms of stability also, BJP in Maharashtra is the largest party, both in 14 and in 19. And they have about 115 MLAs. So you can give a stable, government and a better government when you have a large anchor party. Now, all these combinations and reasons, and then there's been, as I said, on and off, we have thought of that idea. I'm not saying that any decision was taken, but at least a thought process with, forming a government at some stage with the BJP was never ruled out.
So there are 2 sub-questions to this. Firstly, when there was this thought process last year, you say, was there any action that was taken? Did the MLAs approach Sharad Pawar? Did you have a word with him? Did you all convey it to him? What did he convey back to you if you did?
No, I think he was definitely informed about the views of the MLAs. I don't think any decision was taken because by which time the Eknath Shinde government had already come into existence. So I don't think it was like, you see, one thing is you take a decision and then you change a decision. No decision was actually taken.
So there was no question of having talks with the BJP at that time?
No, because by which time, as I said, the internal thought process was there, but the government had come into existence. So then once you have a government, why would you talk? But at the same time, as I said, since everybody was inclined on that direction, we definitely wanted to, at some stage, explore the idea and make it a reality. And I think that stage has come now.
So you said in the beginning that it has been quite some time that the NCP MLAs had been thinking on these lines. We talked about 2022. Was there any such thought before this, 2019, 2014?
Well, whatever happened in 2019, both Mr. Fadnavis and Mr. Pawar have said it to all of you all. It's on an open platform. So that is what is best known. And as far as I am concerned, as anything with concerning Mr. Pawar, I don't talk about it at all. It's very clear that he is my mentor. No, but I'm talking because he is the boss of all of us. So I would at least choose not to speak.
Yes.
Political drama continues to put Maharashtra in the spotlight for days now, especially at a time when there is a coup of sorts, and it seems like Shiv Sena Part 2 is now unfolding with the NCP. 9 members of the NCP have now been sworn in as the cabinet ministers. On one hand, Ajit Pawar says the party is with him. He has the name and the symbol. On the other hand, Jayant Patil says that is not the case. Meanwhile, there's a show of strength by both the sides. While there are several questions that are being raised at a time when both these groups have started taking action against the movement, we have someone who will possibly have some answers to the several questions that Maharashtra's potboiler has right now. I have with me Maharashtra Legislative Assembly Speaker Rahul Narvekar. Sir, thank you so much for your precious time and for speaking to CNN News 18. If you could begin by telling us, how many representations do you have with you? Which all factions have approached you?
Well, I believe the sequence of events started on Sunday, so it's only yesterday that I have received most of the representations. They've been received by the Secretariat of the State Assembly, and they are being perused right now, they are being scrutinized right now, and a note will be put up before me soon. There are prima facie, there are counter claims by, or perhaps there are claims, contradictory claims by 2 leaders of the same party. So as on date before me, there is no representation from anyone claiming that there is a split in the party or there is a fraction in the party. Therefore, for me, as on date, the entire legislature party is one single unit. Though there are more than one claimants who claim to be the leaders of the political party, and this is an issue which I'll have to scrutinize, I'll have to verify, and then recognize one of their claims to be valid and justified. And based on that, I will have to appoint the chief whip and the leader of the legislature party.
So right now you're also looking at some disqualification petitions, sir?
Well, there are some petitions which have been received by our secretariat. Well, with regards to petition, as you are aware that all the rules of CPC's Civil Procedure Code are applicable to this disqualification petition, and therefore we'll have to verify whether they comply with all the rules prescribed therein, all the procedures which have been provided in the disqualification of members on the grounds of defection rules, the constitutional provisions as prescribed under Schedule 10. So we'll have to verify all these things before we take a further decision in this matter.
So right now there are there is a disqualification petition seeking disqualification of 9 MLAs in front of you. Is there anything else?
So I believe there are more petitions. I don't know the exact nature and content of each of them, but there was this one petition which was delivered to me at my residence at about 1:30 in the night on Sunday, perhaps Monday early morning. And yeah, so I'm aware about that, but I believe the Secretariat has received more applications.
So at such a time when, we are seeing, as you, very importantly pointed out, that there is no split in the party. There are already documents in place. Now, both these factions, if I may call so, because for us, in practical purposes, there are two factions who have been claiming. One says they have appointed one whip. The other group also says they have appointed another whip as well as the leaders. So how is this going to pan out now?
See, like I've told you that the Supreme Court has explicitly provided in the order that they have passed in the Shiv Sena matter that the whip is to be appointed or recognized by the speaker in accordance with the desire of the political party. So for me, I will have to first understand who really leads the political party and who has the authority to issue directions with regards to appointment or recognition of whip. So only after I conclude that issue, I would be able to adjudicate on recognition of the whip.
कितने विधायक उनके साथ में हैं? क्योंकि उनका कहना है कि हमारे साथ 43 लोग हैं।
आदरणीय शरद पवार साहब के पार्टी की 1 बजे वाईबी चवन सेंटर में मीटिंग है। उसी प्रकार जिन्होंने बगावत किया उनकी भी दूसरी जगह उनकी भी मीटिंग है। पूरा फैसला हो जाएगा कि किसके साथ में कितने विधायक हैं। जनरल आप महाराष्ट्र में देखिए कि इन जनरल जो पदाधिकारी है राष्ट्रवादी कांग्रेस के या जो आम कार्यकर्ता है वो बड़ी तादाद में आदरणीय शरद पवार साहब के साथ में है। आगे क्या होता देखेंगे, लेकिन आज की तारीख में मैं कार्यकर्ताओं की बात करता हूं, मैं पदाधिकारी की बात करता हूं पूरे ऑल ओवर महाराष्ट्र या महाराष्ट्र के बाहर भी जहां पे हमारे विधायक है वहां भी जो है कि और जहां पे हमारे कार्यकर्ता बड़ी तादाद में और पदाधिकारी भी बड़ी तादाद में आदरणीय शरद पवार साहब के साथ में हैं और रहेंगे। अब ये लोग क्यों गए इसके बारे में आदरणीय शरद पवार साहब ने 2 दिन पहले अपने इंटरव्यू में बताया। उन्होंने बताया, नाम लेके बताया कि किस वजह से ये लोग गए। नहीं, अभी जो हाल ही में जो गए उसमें ऐसा कुछ नहीं है। पवार साहब को ये मालूम पड़ा आपके सोशल मीडिया के जरिए से या टीवी के जरिए से मालूम पड़ा, ऐसी उनको कोई भनक नहीं थी। ये जो निर्णय उन्होंने लिया बिना शरद पवार साहब को बोले या उनके कान पे डालने के पहले उन्होंने ये निर्णय लिया है।
आज मीटिंग हमारी जो है उद्धव ठाकरे साहब की लीडरशिप में मीटिंग हो गई पार्टी चीफ, और जो महाराष्ट्र में और पूरे देश में जो उथल पुथल चल रही है, ये जो राजनीति बीजेपी की चल रही है उसके ऊपर चर्चा हुई। महाराष्ट्र में उसका क्या परिणाम होगा उसका ऊपर चर्चा हुई, और इस संकट और संघर्ष से हमको कैसे आगे जाना है उस बारे में मार्गदर्शन हुआ। लोकसभा चुनाव के बारे में चर्चा हुई, यूसीसी के बारे में चर्चा हुई। शरद पवार अकेले नहीं पड़ गए, हम उनके साथ हैं और वो मजबूत है। पवार साहब को मैं बहुत सालों से जानता हूँ, पहचानता हूँ। शरद पवार साहब ये बाला साहब ठाकरे जैसे ही है, अभी कभी भी अपने आप को अकेले महसूस नहीं करते। मास्टर स्ट्रोक क्या होता है? जिसके हाथ में ईडी सीबीआई जैसी एजेंसी हो, यानी जिसने अंपायर को ही फोड़ दिया है, तो मास्टर स्ट्रोक 2024 में हम भी मारेंगे ना।
देखो, महाराष्ट्र में जिस तरह से डेमोक्रेसी को कोलैप्स करने का जो कोशिश केंद्र में बैठी हुई नरेंद्र मोदी की सरकार जो कर रही है, उसके विरोध में एक प्लान हमने किया है। खुद शरद पवार साहब, मैं और शरद पवार साहब उद्धव ठाकरे साहब से भी बात करेंगे। हम लोग पूरे महाराष्ट्र का दौरा करेंगे, मिल के करेंगे, और बीजेपी जैसे तानाशाह प्रवृत्ति को, लोकशाही व्यवस्था को ख़त्म करने वाली बीजेपी को महाराष्ट्र की ज़मीन से उखाड़ने का एक प्लान हम लोग करने वाले हैं, और उसके लिए जॉइंटली दौरे करने का एक प्लान हमने किया है।
As the debate over Uniform Civil Code continues to simmer, Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar has also stepped into the debate now. Vice President said that any further delay in implementing the UCC would be corrosive to our values. He added that UCC would bind India and its nationalism more effectively. The Vice President hit out at what he termed were anti-Bharat narratives and warned against foreign actors affecting India's reputation. Remember, this comes at a time when the Parliamentary Standing Committee of Law and Justice is holding meetings and discussions on UCC. Meanwhile, Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami also met Prime Minister Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah over UCC.
Now I can tell you, after 30 years, I'm sure that situation must have come. I have no doubt it has come. Any further delay in implementation of Uniform Civil Code will be corrosive of our values. The underlying sublimity of it has to be appreciated and understood. This will bind Bharat, its nationalism, more effectively, and that was the thought process of founding fathers of the Constitution.
सर, विपक्ष कह रहा है कि आप ट्राइबल्स के खिलाफ ला रहे हैं ये बिल, आप नॉर्थ ईस्ट के राज्यों के खिलाफ ला रहे हैं। ये कई मेंबर्स ने पार्लियामेंट्री कमेटी में कल इस सवाल को उठाया है।
नॉर्थ ईस्ट की बहनें, 7 सिस्टर्स हमारी बहनें हैं, और भारत में बहन अगर दुखी है तो भाई कभी खुश हो नहीं सकता। भारतीय जनता पार्टी पर सर्वाधिक ट्राइबल एमएलए, एमपी, एमएलसी, राज्यसभा, इवन भारत सरकार में मंत्री हैं। इसलिए आदिवासी समुदाय, और आप ऐसे ही लगा लो कि हमारी प्रथम नागरिक, हमारी राष्ट्रपति महोदया स्वयं ट्राइबल समुदाय से आती हैं, तो ये तो कहो ही नहीं कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी ट्राइबल विरोधी है। उनके हितों का फिर लॉ कमीशन ने सबसे राय मांगी है, तो जब अभी कोई शेप नहीं लिया है तो ये विरोध के लिए विरोध करना ही सिद्ध हो रहा है, क्योंकि अभी कोई चीज़ आई नहीं है। अभी तो लॉ कमीशन ने कहा भी है सब धार्मिक संगठनों से, राजनीतिक पार्टियों से कि सुझाव दें।
सर, आप लंबे टाइम तक राजनीति में भी रहे हैं, आप पुलिस में भी रहे हैं, आप कई सारे महकमों में रहे हैं। विपक्ष ये कह रहा है कि 24 के इलेक्शन को देखकर आप ये बिल क्यों ला रहे हैं? आपकी मंशा है इलेक्शन आने वाला।
मोदी जी राष्ट्र हित में और गरीब हित में निर्णय लेते हैं, वो इलेक्शन की पूर्व संध्या हो या इलेक्शन निपटा हो। 24 में जिस दिन मोदी जी शपथ लेंगे, उसके अगले दिन की अगली पहली कैबिनेट में भी निर्णय लेंगे, जबकि इलेक्शन 29 में होगा। तो इसको चुनाव से ना माना जाए। ये राजनीतिक सरकारों के कर्तव्य होते हैं कि वो राष्ट्र हित में, जनहित में, गरीब हित में, देश की एकता, अखंडता, भाईचारा के लिए निरंतर अपने कानून बनाते हैं।
इस कानून का मतलब है कि मजहब ही सिखाता है आपस में प्यार करना। इस कानून का मतलब है कि जातीय छुआछूत की समाप्ति। इसका मतलब है कि हम एक वतन, एक जन हैं, एक नागरिक हैं। यह छुआछूत मुक्ति का रास्ता है। इसी के साथ साथ जो गरीब है, दुखी है, पीड़ित है, कमजोर है, असहाय है, निर्बल है, उसकी मदद के रास्ते खुलते हैं। यह कानून है जो औरत पर होने वाले जुल्मों को ख़त्म करता है। का बिलीफ अपने अपनी तरह के हैं, इसलिए बिलीफ तो विद इन रिलीजन और विद आउट ऑफ रिलीजन्स टू रिलीजन, जितने कन्फ्लिक्ट है खत्म होंगे। यह कानून एकता, मोहब्बत, भाईचारे का पैगाम और रास्ता है।
Again, we will say that this is a plan to divide India, divide societies and divert from the real issues. BJP has been trying it from the beginning, and now they had started it in Uttarakhand also. Uttarakhand draft is not available. It is like in a white paper, in a cover you write UCC, and when you go inside to the lifafa, nothing is there. It is the Uttarakhand story. About how much times they will fool people, let us see. But people are not going to get diverted from it. They are going to punish them very strongly whenever they have the opportunity to vote.
From that, we are now shifting our focus to the state of Karnataka. Yeah, we are taking you down south. It is sort of a difficult situation for BJP over there because in an attempt to finalize the Karnataka leader of opposition, BJP observers, Union Minister Mansukh Mandavia and Party General Secretary Vinod Tavre met senior BJP leaders in Karnataka. Now, the observers are expected to communicate their observations to the party high command today. As the session commenced without a leader of opposition, there are rumours of an infighting in BJP for the post. Former Karnataka Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai's name has come to the fore, but his candidature might be challenging for the BJP as the Congress may pose questions regarding the alleged corruption during his regime. Now, party's General Secretary C.T. Ravi and Hubli Dharwad MLA Arvind Belad are also being considered for the post. The central leadership is also keen on naming the state president on priority. Lok Sabha member Nalin Katil currently holds the position. It's time for a short commercial break, but don't go anywhere as we'll come right back with more news and updates on the other side.
Very important name in political history of Bengal. This is the place which witnessed, and this is the place which is the reason for downfall of left. And this is the place where in election history it will be remembered that in 2021, when the Trinamool came with a thumping majority, here Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee lost to Shubhendu Adhikari. After 2021, this is the first election, this is the first panchayat election. Which way the wind is blowing? Is it Shubhendu Adhikari or is it Mamata Banerjee?
There are 17 Gram Panchayats, 2 Panchayat Samitis and 5 Zilla Parishads in Nandigram. All were won by the TMC in the 2018 elections. The then sitting MLA was from TMC. Now he is the BJP's star campaigner and the leader of opposition in the state. TMC is trying to project clean candidates, which is why the party has decided to dump one of their most prominent leaders, Sheikh Sufyan, who was once Mamata Banerjee's election agent.
This is the house of Sheikh Sufyan, one of the most prominent leaders of Nandigram, though he is one of the oldest leader, but he has not got the ticket since party is trying to cleanse its image, to clean his image.
अभी कुछ दुख है तो मैंने दल का ऊपर दुख नहीं है. मैं बिजनेस करके पैसा कमाता है, उनके लिए गाड़ी बाड़ी यहाँ पर खप कर रहा है. तो मैं बिजनेस करने से, पैसा रोजगार करने से कुछ बाड़ी होता है कि गाड़ी होता है. जे जवाब देगा, तृणमूल कांग्रेस को ज़्यादा वोट से जिताएगा, ये तो लड़ाई होगा.
But corruption is not the biggest plank this local poll. Unfortunately, it's the bloodshed. CNN News 18 travelled to Chillagram, to Debrata Maiti's residence. Maiti was a BJP worker who was allegedly killed by ruling party workers after poll results in May 2021. Now CBI is investigating this case, but for his family and those who knew him, fear and panic grips them as another election nears.
Right now we are standing in Nandigram's Debobroto Maiti's residence. Debobroto Maiti is that person who got killed after 2021 results were declared. And according to the court order, there should be protection in their house. This is the protection, this is the police post which is there. As far as the people in the locality and the house people are saying that police does not stay always. 2 साल हो गया, पंचायत चुनाव आएगा, तो किस चीज को देख के चुनाव में वोट देने जाओगे? और तुम
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Now let's shift our focus to a very positive story. In Darara village of Bihar, when a daughter is born, the village comes together to plant 10 fruit saplings in celebration of the birth. As global warming peaks, the village has now become a source of inspiration to many. In 2010, the first sapling was planted, and since then the tradition has been in practice. Now Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar has visited the village several times and encouraged more people to take on the tradition.
परंपरा ये थी कि किसी भी बेटी के जन्म पर 10 पेड़ लगाए जाते थे। ये माननीय मुख्यमंत्री के द्वारा हुआ था। इसकी शुरुआत 2010 में हुई थी, जो कि उनके हाथों से ही मिलकर लगाया गया था। पहला पेड़ मेरे ही नाम पर लगा था। तब तो उनके पास ये न्यूज़ गया और वो खुश होकर यहाँ आए थे। वृक्ष का कम से कम 14 वर्ष हो गया होगा। 14 क्या 10 से 12 वर्ष लगानी चाहिए। बहुत अच्छी है, यूनिक है कि हर गांव से थोड़ा डिफरेंट बनाती है धरारा को। और बाय द वे जिस तरीके से आजकल ऑक्सीजन की ज़रूरत पड़ रही है, उस हिसाब से तो और भी ज़्यादा लगाना चाहिए, क्योंकि हर टाइप से देखा जा रहा है इस जो वायरस फैल रहे हैं। अगर यही पेड़ अगर हर गांव में लगता, हर जगह पे लगता, हर सोसाइटी हर शहर में लगता, तो हो सकता है ऑक्सीजन की कमी नहीं होती और इस तरीके से बेकसूर और मासूम लोग नहीं मरते।
Navigating commoditization in the payments landscape, fintech and India. How big is it anyway? Navigating edtech in this AI era? These and many more power-packed conversations are happening on 7th July at the Money Control Startup Conclave. #ToughGetGoing on 7th July, 9:30 am onwards. Join the live stream on Money Control.